All right, Tuesday night Krug show. Raj is in the house. The latest on Brandon Aiyuk. Oh, are we coming to an end on this Brandon Aiyuk story? We'll talk about it all right now. Come aboard the Krug show. Off and running on a Tuesday night. Welcome to the Krug Show, brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California is Pig and a Pickle. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m., soon to open in Petaluma. The Krug Show also is presented by Prize Picks, America's #1 sports picks app. Prize Picks is super simple. You just pick more or less on player stats or game outcomes and build your lineup. It's available in most states, including California. If you haven't checked it out yet, use code HMA, and when you play $5, you get $50 in lineups, and it will all happen instantly. Raj, how are you, man? Good to see you. You got the what I call the Trent Williams. You've got that is the exact hat that Trent Williams has and often wears in the locker room. The SF with the gold SF with the gold hat with the red label or the red lettering. Very, very cool. The Trent hat. How you been, man? Good to see you.
Good. Yeah, the residency. This the residency hat. But I've been good. I got a fever lately, a World Cup fever. Been hyped up watching all the World Cup. I'm gonna be sad when it's over, not gonna lie. But then right after that, football season around the corner. So I won't be sad for too long. But I've been good. Good to see you, Larry. I hope you had a good vacation, and good to be back.
Yeah, seriously. It was a very good vacation. We're in Boston, in Connecticut. Spent a lot of time watching the World Cup on vacation, touring Boston, and man, the entire country, coast to coast, has World Cup fever. The game this morning, where Egypt had a 2-0 lead on Argentina. They were about to put Messi away, and then the bottom fell out. And what a very dramatic win in Atlanta at the Georgia or at the new Atlanta Center, the Mercedes-Benz Dome there in Atlanta. Very, very incredible World Cup game. But while that was going on, over on X, there was a little battle royale going on. And we will share the screen, the latest and greatest on our favorite receiver, Brandon Aiyuk. How will I miss you if you refuse to go away? And I know there are others going, oh, the Niners. All right, whatever. Here we go. Here it is. Brandon Aiyuk says he will not be applying for reinstatement. He also gave his breakdown of what happened when his guarantees were voided on his Instagram story. I will not be reinstating with them, nor ever doing any kind of business with them. I'm locked in and focused on my opportunity to return to the field this season. #RaiseHell. He is begging for a third party to interfere, whether that be the Players Association or the league at this point. He doesn't care. It's almost as if we're now in a game of chicken, and the league, the rules state that I believe the league must be reinstated by the NFL, not by the Niners, but by the NFL. That's first. But first, before you do that, you have to apply for reinstatement. So he is yet to apply for reinstatement. So you haven't applied for reinstatement. You keep talking about how you want to be reinstated, but you don't apply for reinstatement. I mean,
it's like logic is flawed.
Like, I want to go to Sac State. Did you apply? No, I haven't applied. Could you imagine if I just kept tweeting, I want to go to Sac State. I want to go to Sac State. Let me go to Sac State. If this school would just release me from my obligation, I would go to Sac State. I'm all about Sac State. I'm only following myself and Sac State. I need to go to Sac State. Have you applied to Sac State? Well, no. I haven't applied. Dude. First thing you'd be like, Krug is losing his marbles. All right. So why is this any different? Is Aiyuk losing his mind? Is he actually not want to play? What is this about? Am I missing something? It's something seems amiss.
I don't know. He's just weird. And then read the second part. He kind of went into detail of his recollect. Like every time he's posting now, he's kind of like giving his side of the story. And this was the latest of what he thought. He said.
Here's the latest on that. He says, when the news finally came out that my guarantees were voided in November, the team continued to lie to the media and the fan base, acting as if that was not a decision that was made in July, continually saying I would be returning, despite the fact I told them on numerous occasions that I would not be. With the severity of my injury and guarantees no longer on the table, that was not an option. Okay. Then he says, we are 1 year removed. Well, first of all, before we hit that second one, let's tackle this for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. When the news came out that my guarantees were voided in November, the team continued to lie to the media and fan base, acting as if there was not a decision that was made in July. Okay, but
Kyle Shanahan said in July, he mentioned specifically in July
that the guarantees were being taken away.
Yeah, I posted the video. We'll read that. We can listen to that.
We'll listen to that in a second. Yeah. But Aiyuk himself, if this were all decided in July and it was obvious to everybody that he wasn't coming back, why was he at practice kind of shadowing the wide receiver group until the middle of October? If he knew in July that they took away his bonuses and his guarantees, and they basically took money away from him, but then he goes, with the severity of the injury and guarantees no longer on the table, that was not an option. So were you ready to come back or not?
Yeah.
Why does he reference the severity of the injury if he was ready to come back? And then when he was at practice, not practicing, but out there, that happened well after July. He was going to practice in a support your teammates capacity in September and October, after he says the decision was made in July. And now he's saying that with the guarantees no longer on the table, there was never a chance that he was going to play. Well, if there was never a chance that you were going to play, what were you doing in October and September?
Yeah.
Out at practice?
Not only that, Larry, I saw there's been videos. I remember video like during a game, like in the before warm-ups and stuff, you see Brandon Aiyuk running and there's like cutting. There was videos of him on the practice field running. I remember posting a video like, oh my God, look at Brandon Aiyuk running. Is he getting close to a return? Like, and of course, John Lynch, he's not going to sit there and say, he said, hey, if he wants to play, we take him back. We got to figure it out. But there's videos of him running around, and we were like under the assumption that, hey, we want Brandon Aiyuk to come back, and maybe he will. And then that's when in November, when Kyle addressed the media in his big statement, when they voided the contract, when all that news finally came out, I remember that press conference, and he said, hey, look, it's been since July. We tried. And then that's when Kyle Shanahan basically said he ghosted us. He ghosted us. So somebody obviously isn't telling the truth, or somebody is stretching the truth, and that somebody's Brandon Aiyuk, I think.
Yeah, I mean, was the plan to play for the Niners in September and October when you were doing this? And if so, then he goes on to say, we're 1 year, today's July 7th. So he says, we're 1 year from the date in which they made the decision to void my guarantees due to missed rehab. Yet they have the footage and the GPS information that shows I reached markers I never hit even before the injury, all before the required recovery time ordered by the surgeon. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you didn't miss rehab. And you obviously were rehabbing on your. He's basically saying he didn't. Yeah. He's not denying that he missed the rehab, but he's basically saying that, hey, I was rehabbing over here and I was getting better. Okay, well, if I mean, this is such a circular conversation.
Yeah.
So you did miss rehab, and that's what really gave them the avenue to take away the guarantees. Then they take away the guarantees. You didn't fight that.
Yeah.
If you thought that was unjust, why didn't you fight it? You're saying now that basically by writing it the way he wrote it today, it was like he admitted that he missed the rehabilitation appointments that he was supposed to have, but obviously he's saying that he was rehabbing on his own.
Yeah, he was doing his own.
But he didn't challenge. I mean, you would think that just those facts alone would make you challenge the 49ers. They took away $27 million. It's not like they took away $2.75. They took away $27 million. You did not fight them on it. And now you're going to basically say, well, you know what? That was that was not legitimate. Well, if it wasn't legitimate, shouldn't you have an agent who's like says, you know what, we're going to fight this? Oh no, you fired your agent.
Fire the agent, and I just think he's just making poor decision after poor decision, and then he goes back and he's trying to like retrack his steps, and it's just bad decision making overall. And regardless of all this that he said today, and you could sit here and say, well, he said, she said, well, this is what happened, this is what happened. Regardless, even if he tries to come back, like he's still got a warrant that he's got to deal with, right? And in order to get reinstatement, you got to deal with that. And also under this scenario, Larry, the 49ers, they can leave him on the left squad list. That's what he's on. He's not on a roster list. He's on a left squad list. And he's going to remain on that until,
he's reinstated. Until he's reinstated, then he has to show up at the facility. Then he has to say he wants to play. Then they have to put him through a physical, and then they have to flunk him in the physical.
Yeah.
Or right? I mean, doesn't all this have to happen, or they have to cut him loose right then and there?
Yeah. And there's all these but in order to get there, he has to take these steps, and it doesn't seem like he's doing the right way. He's just mad, spouting off on social media, trying to tell his story, firing his agent, saying, I'm going to talk for myself. And again, he's on this left squad list, and he's going to remain there until the team says, well, we don't want you on this, because right now he's not counting against the roster, and he's not getting paid. So the Niners are saying, well, we don't care about you. Stay on this left squad list, and you're not getting paid, buddy. Buckaroo. That's how it is.
Here's what Shanahan said last July.
Yeah. No, November. This week said November.
Excuse me, November.
About July.
I'm sorry, maybe it's the same question I couldn't hear, but you want to hear the specifics. So what happened in July to cause that voiding?
I'm not going to get into specifics of that. There was a number of things from July that to me is more of a business side, dealing with lawyers and stuff and contracts and stuff that is really not my area of expertise.
This is the guy, obviously, the team felt, and you felt good enough to give a very large contract not very long ago. Is there disappointment that it's gotten to this with Brandon and 49ers?
Yeah, of course. I've been coaching over 20 years, and I've never been in a situation where a contract's been voided. So it was extremely unusual to me.
And personally, I mean, I imagine you were very in support of him getting a new contract. We know how weird that negotiation was. But do you feel let down by the situation?
I'm not really there yet. Like, I know everyone got a lot of information yesterday. That was information that I found out in July and kind of dealt with it then. And to me, the contract stuff and guarantees and things like that is really, it's irrelevant to my relationship with the player and my relationship with our team and what we're trying to do this year. I know I went through that stuff and talked to him a lot about it back in July. But since July, it's been all about this season and hoping he would get healthy, and he's been working to get healthy, and I've been waiting for him to come back when he's healthy.
Okay, so that was Shanahan in November talking about July, and he basically kind of dodged and said, hey, look, it's above my pay grade. But really what he's saying is there was contractual language in Aiyuk's contract that the Niners, let's say lawyers, didn't feel that he fulfilled. And thus they had grounds to walk away from the guaranteed $27 million. And they did. And then his his obvious thing, if he wanted to fight it, would be to fight it through his agent and the players union, and he never did. So that is almost an endorsement that the taking away of the guarantees was legitimate, right? Because if you're not going to fight it, I mean, someone says, you committed a crime or something, and you're like, don't fight it. No contest. Doesn't no contest kind of suggest guilt? It definitely suggests that you're motivated to not fight. Why would you not fight for $27 million? Are you the only man in America that's not interested in making $27 million? And who would allow somebody to take $27 million off of their family's plate without fighting it if they didn't feel like it was just?
Yeah.
So, whether it's Aiyuk making a bad decision, Aiyuk firing his agent, not having, all the information, that's basically the way this thing has come down. Now Aiyuk is begging for somebody else, with the union to take another look at his case, to intercede. And it seems real basic enough at this point. It seems like he's got to file for reinstatement and then show up in San Francisco. And at that point, kind of force the 49ers' hand. They would ultimately release him. Now, the only other aspect of this that we haven't touched is the recouping of bonus money that's already been paid to Aiyuk. Is that part of this? I mean, are the 49ers going to, that was the part of the angle on the story that I haven't really gotten into because it happened when I was on vacation, but are the 49ers going to try to take money back from Aiyuk in addition?
I wouldn't be surprised if they are at this point. I think at this point, the way he keeps on coming at him and attacking him in all his posts, I feel like the Niners would say, hey, man, we've been trying to be the better person and the bigger person or whatever. And I do ultimately think if he just keeps poking the bear's going to attack. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I mean, hey, they have all the rights to take the money away from him. Because, again, in that video, Kyle says, we walked away from it. He mentioned July 5 times, by the way. I counted. Said July 5 times. But he also said, hey, we moved past it, whatever. We thought he was going to get healthy. And then, later down through the timeline, we found out that he was ghosting the team and stuff. And now he's doing these shenanigans. And I feel like at some point, if the 49ers just get tired and fed up of it, Larry, I think they're going to say, you know what? Let's recoup the rest of the money that we try to pay out to this guy, that we, are contractually obligated from this guy. So I think at some point after all this, they're going to take more money, Larry. I think they are. And I just think that Brandon is not realizing that he's just digging himself a bigger grave. I know he wants to get out of the team, and I think he's doing these tactics to piss him off, and they can finally see, you know what? Let's just cut him. It's not worth the headache. I don't think they're going to just do that. I think they're going to say, hey, man, look, you're going to keep digging a grave and stabbing us in the back and talking trash about us. At some point, you're going to get karma. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Karma's going to come and hit him, and it's not going to be great for him.
There's all other parts of this as well that but wait, there's more. You posted this on July 4th of July, and let's run it 5. Let's see. Need you available all season, and I'll do the same. He
was going crazy. That was the day where he basically was throwing shade at Jaden Daniels. I don't know. You probably saw the video where he comes out there and he started throwing shade, and he said he was talking about his, your mom, this and that. Yeah.
Let's play this one. This looks like he's drinking some red wine. Maybe some good red wine. Here we go.
Fire gonna text me talking about something. You on my team now. You follow my rules. Boy, I'm a grown ass man, boy. You gonna have to start running behind your mama, and I might believe what you talking about. But until then,
a lot of people were critical of this video.
Yeah.
I mean, on the surface, it looks like he's going at Daniels. Then immediately, now I didn't do videos on this necessarily because it just was so out there, and I was pretty busy. One day I was traveling. Yeah. Some people said it was, they're Benjamin Albright's like, they're putting you guys all on and this and that. It's like, I don't care if they're putting us on or not. If you're the Commanders, why would you want to sign up for that? Why would you? At best, your new soon-to-be wide receiver and your starting quarterback are spending a lot of time coordinating social media moments. That's the best. That's if it's all everything's hunky-dory and they're all laughing behind the scenes like, haha, we got them. We really got them.
Yeah.
So like, I don't believe he's that good of an actor. I don't believe that there's something weird going on there too. It's like, why on earth would you talk down to the one guy, Jaden Daniels, who's has enough leverage in his situation to potentially get you to his situation, to get you to the Commanders, a team that you're begging to go to? Why would you go at him that way in any kind of serious way? So that's why it was easy to believe, oh, they're just fooling around with each other, because otherwise it makes no sense at all. But even then, that's the best you could say, is that your starting quarterback, your franchise quarterback, and your soon-to-be starting receiver are spending their offseason trying to pull one over on people on social media. Really? That's the good side of this. That's the positive spin. I mean, doesn't sound too positive to me if I was a Commanders fan.
I mean, it's just drama. It's just causing drama. You're making
tons of
yourself
drama.
making yourself look dumb. Like, to me, it's embarrassing. Like, I just don't see why anybody's reaching out to. I hope somebody is and saying, look, you look dumb. But if you look at all his videos, he's always by himself. Nobody's there telling him, like, are you serious, dude? And a couple of days ago, there was a report that Rand Carthon, former 49ers director of player personnel, he said he wants to reach out to him. It's like the first person I think that's tried to reach out for him, other than John Lynch knocking on his door, and he got mad about that, right? So it's like, is he even going to take someone helping him? Like, he does need people in his corner telling him the right things, because whoever's telling him to go, oh yeah, go out there, post this video talking trash about Jaden. Again, even if they're trolling, you just look like a generational idiot. People are saying that he got CTE from a knee injury. Like, that is an all-time low, man. It's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And it just kind of makes you wonder, where is this going? How is this going to end? You know, I mean, seriously, where is this going to possibly end for Brandon Aiyuk and the 49ers? Is he going to be released? Is the union going to jump in? Is the league going to try to intercede? Are they going to broker some kind of a transition where the Niners get something out of it? Do the Commanders at any point, based on what you know, do you believe the Commanders still want him?
I don't think they do, man. Like, why would you? There's other players. Stephon Diggs is available, and he looks good. He's been posting some videos of him. Like, I'd take Stephon Diggs. And last year, he actually played meaningful snaps. He was in the Super Bowl. He looked really good, coming off an injury. There's better people out there. Deebo Samuel, you could re-sign him. I know he's not like what he once was, and he's different when he's not on the Niners. But there are players out there that you can go and sign right now. And Brandon Aiyuk, to me, is not even near their talent. We don't even know what he can do. He hasn't played in a long time. He's out there running his mouth instead of running routes. I don't even think Brandon Aiyuk's going to play this season. Like, honestly, when we talked about all the things he has to do to get reinstated, like, that's a laundry list of things, and it just doesn't seem like he's prioritizing it. It's getting – training camp is like a couple weeks away, Larry. Training camp is right around the corner, and he's not even making strides to even get to a training camp right now. I don't think Brandon Aiyuk's going to play. And nonetheless, for the Washington Commanders, and there are people available that they can sign readily that have been putting in work, and you can see their videos. I mean, hell, man, OBJ got signed by the Giants this year. I think there's other people that are going to eventually get signed. Again, Stephon Diggs is the guy I would take. I just don't see it. I don't think he's going to play. Brandon Aiyuk is just being childish. He's honestly, Larry, he's acting like a high schooler. It is definitely embarrassing. I wouldn't want him if I'm the Commanders.
Great. Sometimes there's great Twitter moments. Here we go. Here's a great Twitter moment, a summary of the Brandon Aiyuk situation.
Yeah.
One of the great summaries you're ever going to see.
Mm.
Here we go. Brandon Aiyuk.
This is going to be good.
Let's see if I can we?
They don't need sound.
I guess
it's
you don't
good.
need sound. Wait, there you go. Hold on a second. That is a good summary of the Brandon Aiyuk situation.
It's good.
There you go.
That's me.
That is worth
That's good.
that is worth a star. That's worth a like. That's worth a
That's it.
like.
That's good.
There you go.
That's
Love that. Thank you. At Zoo EJ49. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. All right. Wow. So while that's going on, I mean, so, over there you got that whole saga going on. Grayson Halton and Romello Heights became the final rookies to sign. The Niners on July 7th have the entire rookie class officially signed. Wait a second. Do you have a feeling on the other story of the day in Ninerland, which is that Romello Height and Grayson Halton are in the fold?
Good. Yeah, I'm glad we got all our rookies signed. Good for them. Hopefully they can, get to work and show something and help make an impact. We've talked about the rookies a lot, especially after they're drafted. Those are the final two. They signed them up. Training camp is just around the corner. Rookie training camp is, I think, almost 10 days away, something like that. So it's good. No drama. Like, you don't have any worries about people getting signed this offseason. There's no contract, drama. That's pretty nice. The only drama is Brandon Aiyuk, but he's creating his own. It's nice to see, all the rookies are signed. We don't have to wait. We don't have a Michael Crabtree situation, anything like that. And they're ready to rock and roll, man. They're all officially, pen to paper. And I'm excited, man. I'm just happy that football is around the corner. And I'm excited to see these rookies. I don't know how much impact they're going to have. Maybe Romello Height, is going to have something because that D-line, we've talked about how you need that extra edge rusher. They've hyped them up a lot. But it's nice to see that they're all locked and loaded and ready to roll.
Here's a picture of all of them with their red feather that they signed their contracts with. Deshaun Stribling up top, Romello Height, Carver Willis, Grayson Halton. Who's this right here?
Come on, Larry.
Hold on, it's kind of small. I can't really see. I can see Kalon Black on the bottom right,
Yeah.
Ephesians Prysock on the bottom center, and then that looks like Jaden Duggar on the bottom left.
Yeah. So who's left, Larry?
Who is
offensive
left?
lineman Enrique Cruz, baby.
Enrique Cruz. There you go. I did not recognize Enrique Cruz. He doesn't have an offensive lineman's head. He seems like a smaller athlete in that picture right there.
Fair.
Okay. Of the rookies, if you had to wager on one contributing this year, which one do you wager on? I bring this up because, Grant Cohn we streamed this morning and he was talking up Jaden Duggar, saying that he thinks Jaden Duggar might be the rookie, which would be something else, man. This guy played 1 year of off-the-ball linebacker for Louisiana, but he had 125 tackles, which is a lot of tackles. But he also is the youngest guy of these eight draft choices. A lot of people think Romello. I kind of like Stribling. I think Stribling looked really good in the mini camp. He's big and he is fast. And last we saw him in the playoffs, he was making plays for Trinidad Chambliss left and right. I think Stribling might actually, the Ole Miss receivers are very, very talented every year. This guy showed that talent. He's got size and strength and speed. He can block. I like Kalon Black, and I think he's going to be really good. But I kind of think Stribling might actually be the guy that really plays, the most early. Give me who do you like here? Who's the guy you'd wager on?
I know everybody's hyping Duggar, and he looks like a 5th-round gem. He's going to take some time. I think he's going to develop because I remember we had Aziz Al-Shahir, and he was a raw linebacker. Nobody knew about him, and it took him some time, and now he's a star, right? So I think Duggar can fit that mold. He's still got to build into his frame. He looks like me, Larry. He's a skinny guy, right? So it's going to take him some time. But I like people talking about him because, Baldy posted that video a couple weeks ago. It looked like he's got it. But to me, the guy, I agree with you. Stribling, man, I think he's going to come in. He looks like the rookie that's just going to, come in and be that guy. You got to realize that wide receiver room, you got Evans. He's great, veteran. He's got to teach his heir apparent, right? Ricky Pearsall, we love him, but injuries, Watkins and Cowing, they've been question marks. So to me, it just sets up for Stribling to take, a really big role as a rookie. I think that's the guy. And then on defense, I'm going to go Romello Height. I think, he's 25-year-old rookie. He's, no spring chicken. He's been around. And I think they have a lot of high expectations for him because they didn't really go get a big-time edge rusher to help out Bosa, right? They added some guys on the line last year, and they're expecting them to break out. I think Romello Height's a guy you can just place there and hopefully give you some good production. So I'm going to go with Romello, and I'm going to go with Stribling. It sounds like the easy answer because it is. It's literally the two guys that I feel like they really built this draft around.
I would go with Stribling, but, I'm going to go order off the menu a little bit. I think Mikhail Kamara is going to be a good player. I mean, I loved him at Indiana. I think he's ideally suited for that fifth defensive end / special teams role. And I think he could be really, really good. Really good.
Another guy, I like Black, but it's going to come down to, can he take out, Jordan James out as the running back too? Because I think we all know we need somebody to take some pressure off of CMC. Although you saw CMC's latest workout video, man, I don't know, man. It's every year you think he's going to fall apart. He's washed. The man just trains like a month. I don't know, man. He's something else. He's incredible. I don't know. Someone in the comments was like, oh, he's training like Kyle Shanahan's going to give him another 400 carries. I was dying. I was like, hey, that's what he's doing, man.
Last time he had 400 touches, it was the 2023 Super Bowl season, and he came out the next year. He played 4 games.
Yeah, he got bilateral Achilles tendonitis, and it was a rough season. And then bounced back, comeback player of the year, and now, he's found his Zen training. But we'll see, man. That guy's in. Did you see his push-up? Like the push-ups he's been doing?
I mean, the guy's an awesome train. He trains like a madman. All right, one more video. One of my favorite Niner videos today. I really enjoyed the Mac Jones on with Bussin' with the Boys.
Yeah, that was good.
And I played a couple cuts on one of the earlier streams. I'll play one that I haven't played already. And here is Mac Jones on playing really well and the quarterback controversy talk that comes with it. I think this is kind of an interesting cut. Mac Jones on Bussin' with Mac Jones. I mean, Mac Jones is awesome, man. I mean, seriously, Mac Jones has done everything right. Everything right. Everything that he's ever said since he's been a Niner is right on the money. The players love him. The media loves him. Yeah. Brock likes him. He likes Brock. Shanahan likes him. Everybody likes Lynch likes him. Everybody likes Mac Jones. He says all the right things. He just handled that so perfectly. It's like quarterback 101. How to be a starter or a backup in the NFL by Mac Jones. I mean, you could read like 10 books and not get the wisdom that he gave in these 4 or 5 sound bites, specifically that one on Bussin' with the Boys. I mean, it's like the guy found a way to come to a new team, assert his leadership in a way that in no way threatened the starter, but also really told the rest of the team, I'm fucking leading this thing.
Yeah.
You can see he thinks he's a great quarterback. He just said it.
He knows
he literally just said it. And I think he's better than Sam Darnold. I've made that point many times with you and with others, just based on what I've seen. Now, obviously, Darnold won the Super Bowl last year, and Mac Jones is not even a starter. Here's the thing I don't get. I don't get why nobody came after him. Or did the Niners put the feeler out there? And what was that feeler? Because that feeler probably had to be, we want a first-round pick.
I think that's the key. I think that's the case, Larry. I think the Niners said, hey, we're willing to trade him, but I think they knew he was so valuable. Like, just listen to that interview. He's playing the long game. He's smart, dude. He was a first-round pick a couple years ago, and everybody hated. At the end, it was crazy because it's like a ship. Everybody switched up. People hated him in Ninerland, right? Nobody wanted him, and now we have him. We're like, we don't want to get rid of him, Larry, because he showed how important he is, how valuable he is. He came in, he won games, he bought in. He sits there in the interview, says, I get it, I want to win. That is so valuable as a backup to sit there and say, you know what, this is not my team, but he knows eventually he will have a team, whether it's the Niners or another team, it doesn't matter. He's playing the long game. And I think the Niners are saying, look, dude, we got a guy that he went in and beat the Rams, right? We were shorthanded and we beat the Rams with, Mac Jones. He turned his career around. He knows, look what Kyle has done for Sam Darnold and, that situation. So he knows if he gets one more opportunity this season, which you never know with the injuries with the Niners, he's going to come in and he's going to make the most of his situation again. He's going to get paid a lot of money somewhere. And he's getting paid good money as a backup. He's the best backup in the league. He could be a starter anywhere. He knows it. In that interview, he said, he does want a chance at some point. But I think the Niners said, hey, man, if you really want this valuable piece that we have on our team, it's going to cost you. And I don't think people were ready to give it up. And I think they'll regret it next year because they could have got him for a draft pick. Next year, they're going to have to pay a lot of money if he doesn't stay with the Niners next year because he'll be a free agent. But Max, a good dude. I met the guy. Such a nice person, funny guy. Everything you see on like his social media, that's him. He's just a funny, cool, laid-back, chill guy. I love Mac Jones. And, it's crazy because years ago, I didn't want anything to do with him.
I didn't either.
I was like, no, please, no, Larry. And I'm so happy he's on this team. He's probably one of the five most important players on this team, and he's not a starter. That is crazy to say. I love him.
Man, we got that one wrong.
Yeah.
We got that one wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally wanted no part of Mac Jones in that 21 draft. No part of him. Some party boy from Alabama who had a DUI, had a fat gut. So easy to look at him and go, it was really Jerry Jeudy and Ruggs and all these guys that made him look good. He's not that good. He's not in shape. He's supposed to be super smart, but he doesn't sound super smart. Even now, you're like, does that guy sound like a genius? No, but he's football smart and he's very, very accurate. Very accurate. So, man, I mean, I got that one wrong. I thought Trey Lance was the guy. I thought Justin Fields was the guy. I thought Zach Wilson was the guy.
Everybody but Mac Jones, Larry. That's who we thought.
And really, Trevor Lawrence could have gone 1 and did. Mac Jones could have gone 2.
Probably should have been the second quarterback drafted in that class. When you look back in hindsight, Larry, he should have been. And, I feel bad because in the Patriots, they didn't really put a team around. They didn't believe it. Like, I don't feel like they believed in him. And he was never given the support. And you could see that he's finally got structure, support. Like, he loves this team. And they love him. Like you said, everybody has supported. We're sitting here. I see fans. They go crazy over Mac Jones when they post about him. He gets more like engagement than some of the like other star players. He's a star player on this team, and it's because he's finally embraced the culture that loves him. There was a video clip on that interview where he says, the vibes are great, the locker room's good, like everybody just it's a good environment because we hang out after the season, during the season. We're good on the field together, but even afterwards, it's camaraderie and he loves this team, and he
loves the equipment guys. He was dancing around the table in Vegas. You posted that a few weeks.
Yeah. That was my video when I was at Vegas with him. Yeah.
I mean, that was incredible. And by the way, here's the Niners starting quarterback on 4th of July. This is like the most wholesome thing you're going to see all day.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. Brock Purdy. This is like the Kennedys here, in the backyard. Oh wait! Let me get the music out of there.
That music. We don't want to get copyright.
But I mean, this is seriously. This has got to be one of the most wholesome videos you're ever going to see. Look at this. They're playing kickball.
Love it.
And then he slides in on his knees. He gets up. All right, their family. Oh, everybody's in the pool. Look at that. All the kids.
Love it, baby.
God. There's the baby, little Millie. And there's Brock running by, training. His baby's sitting there in the grass. He's in Nashville. Oh, my God.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Jesus. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Love it.
I mean, this is just.
He's having a good offseason.
He's riding his John Deere, right?
I saw that.
You got another one here of him riding his John Deere tractor.
He was prepping for 4th of July. He was on his little John Deere lawnmower.
There it is. Unbelievable. Classic. So he's got the John Deere sponsorship. He's got the cute little family. He's got his new spread in Tennessee near George, and he's living his best life, getting ready for the season. And the Niners have an incredible quarterback situation. Absolutely
Great.
incredible.
They do.
And then the only question is who's going to join the mix? Will it be a 2-quarterback room? Does Rourke play his way onto the roster? Does Rourke play so well that he becomes traded? Does Rourke play so well that Mac becomes traded? Does Adrian Martinez come out of nowhere and shock people? None of these things would surprise me because Martinez was playing well in the UFL. Now, granted, it was the UFL, but this guy was a pretty good athletic quarterback. Niners brought him back after he went to the Jets. They obviously see something they like. He's athletic, he's competitive, he's smart, he can move. We've never actually seen Adrian Martinez play in a game for the Niners, but we will this summer, and we'll see Curtis Rourke as well. What's your prediction here? I'm going to predict that Rourke plays pretty well, but not as good as Jones, and Martinez plays pretty well. They both Martinez gets cut or put through waivers and maybe gets claimed, maybe not. I think Rourke gets traded because he won't clear waivers. My guess is it's Brock, it's Mac, it's Adrian Martinez, possibly re-signed on the practice squad. But I think Rourke is going to be moving on.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, my boy Terradome says, I want to see the Maple Missile. Me too. I'm excited to see what Rourke is going to bring to the table. You know, he played his last college season with that ACL injury. That's crazy. The guy's tough.
Yeah.
Had the brace on his knee. So I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. He's had a year to kind of, redshirt and learn the offense. I think he could be good. But I still think, I said this before, like maybe they put him on like the NFI or one of those PUP lists so they could kind of shimmy the 53-man roster. You know how they kind of can do those weird rules, stretch the rules a little to keep them and not have to trade him. Unless he's like, looks so good, you have to trade him. I could see it. I think Martinez will get cleared and he'll go to practice squad. But yeah, Rourke is definitely the red card. If he, the wild card, sorry. If he can really.
You watch a lot of World Cup.
Well, I've been watching too much World Cup. So if he can really show something, then yeah, maybe you get something out of him. But I do think the Niners are going to really hope he can be that valuable piece because next year, if Mac Jones isn't on the team, they're going to want to have a really good backup. And I think they're kind of holding out hope that, the Maple Missile could be that guy. But we'll see because, hey, nobody thought they were going to get Mac Jones, and the Niners can do this every year. Just get a veteran. Okay, hey, you know what? This guy, he's been around the league. Nobody believes in him. We'll take him in and we'll fix him. So I think ultimately Martinez makes the practice squad. Even if he plays good, I think, he'll make the practice squad. But he's shown that he's got some talent. He has a good arm. So yeah. It's gonna be fun. We all know Brock and Mac are the guys, but I'm excited to see what Rourke and
Adrian
Martinez bring to the table. It's always fun watching these guys.
Good quarterback room for sure.
Yeah.
Here's some video of Malik Mustafa. The Niners have 8 defensive backs that are 26 or younger. He's one of them. Here he is here training. This guy's probably got one of the more impressive physiques you're going to see. This guy's jacked. He's super jacked. And he's a great guy too. He's a super good dude. And what do you think? I mean, him and Upton Stout, are these guys on the verge of bust outs? Because it seemed like both these guys, are training pretty hard. Stout's been training like a madman. The Niners, if the Niners are going to be good, they're going to have to get great seasons out of guys like Mustafa and Stout.
Yeah, I think Stout for sure. I think he's really kind of ascending up. He had a really strong rookie year and he made some plays. Last year, Mustafa, I feel like, took a step back, in his second year coming off the injury. But I really think he's that type of player that's hungry, that wants to get it. I really hope that Mustafa could be, a breakout player because the safety department is just not what it is. And they're lacking. I feel like the 49ers defense is a safety away from becoming like, oh, wow, this is a defense. So I'm really hoping it's his time to shine this year. Hopefully he's, really recovered this year, last year again with the injury, the ACL and everything. So I have high hopes for him because I think he's better than most of the safeties we have, which, I mean, it's not saying much, but, he's still young. He's still hungry. He's a hard hitter, but he's just got to take better angle. And his coverage was lacking that rookie season, So I have high hopes for him, Larry, because we need to have good safeties. But I think if that 49ers front line, if that D-line can get some pressure, I think it'll help his job to be easier. So I'm holding out hope on Malik, but Upton Stout to the moon, baby. To the moon, Upton Stout.
What is the training camp storyline you're most eager to either see? It could be a player, it could be a theme. I talked about this a couple times, one that I'm centering on, but give me your thoughts on that. Is there one angle or one storyline that you are going to be really eager to check out?
I mean, not really one. There's always so many to see, right? There's the offensive line, the left guard. It's an open position. We have no clues in your starting left guard. We've mentioned before, there's a lot of options there. The D-line, right? We all know they brought in a lot of rookies, Alfred Collins and CJ West last year. Are they going to take that year two rise? We just mentioned the safety department. Who the heck's going to emerge from that ragtag group and be starters? Jair Brown going to do something after Dante Whitner's, bully campaign this offseason? Who the hell is going to step up? To me, there's so many stories. I can't focus on one. The wide receiver room, right? We know Pearsall. He's going to be that guy if he can stay healthy. We talked about Stribling. He's supposed to be their big rookie this year. But then there's Watkins, there's Cowan. Who the hell else is going to be there? Who's your return man? Is it going to be one of them? I'm excited to see Evans. And then the other story is, we mentioned it earlier, running back. Who is going to, emerge in the ranks? What's the pecking order going to be behind CMC? So it's too many stories, Larry. It's too many stories. I don't know. It's exciting.
There's a lot of them. The one to me that is the most interesting is Raheem. Yeah, I just really don't know definitively, Raj, who he likes and who he doesn't. I tried to ask him this question at the end of the OTAs. I'm like, hey, Raheem, you're getting your eyes on these guys, in some cases for the first time and everything. Who do you like? Who's impressing you? And he gave me a long list, and he, it was a number of guys that he mentioned. But the one thing that we don't know, and he's never going to tell us, is he's never going to tell us, hey, you know what? I inherited whomever, Alfred Collins, and I don't think he's a fit. I inherited CJ West, and I don't like him. I inherited Nick Martin, and I inherited whomever, Jair Brown, Renardo Green. There's likely some player that he inherited that he loves that didn't play a big role last year. I think it might be Nick Martin. Because I think Nick Martin, is a blitzing linebacker potentially who can hunt the quarterback. And I think that falls right in line with what Morris is liking. He wants 5-man fronts. It might be Jaden Duggar. It might be this Larry Worth the third. There's going to be somebody that we're not thinking is a big time player who Raheem's like, this guy's going to play a role for us. And then there might be one or two players on defense, and they're probably young players that he inherited, that he's just going to be like, that guy can't play for me. And that guy's going to go from had a better status with Saleh to a worse status with Raheem. So to me, that's the most intriguing part of this summer is like, who's his guys? And does he demand Shanahan and Lynch to, because I think he's going to have total control. If he doesn't like a guy, I don't think it's going to matter that Robert Saleh did.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get total control to run the defense the way he wants to run it. And it wouldn't surprise me if, somebody like a Larry Worth III plays a significant role, and maybe somebody who we are expecting to play a significant role doesn't even make the team. Wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, that's a good point because it's a new coach. We don't know what his tendencies are. He's still learning the roster, right? They had their mini camp and everything. So he's taking his notes, and also he was there for the draft. So he probably was part of that draft process of getting the guys that he wanted. So maybe one of those rookies he took, like Grayson Halton, maybe he likes him more than CJ West, and maybe Halton gets, more, time on the line than CJ West. So we'll see. You're right. That's a good observation. That's a good thing to take an eye on. It's always interesting when the Niners have new coaches here and there. I mean, they've had a lot of DCs over the last couple of years because they've had good ones. So you leave, and then you got to see what the hell the next guy's going to do, right? We had the good, the bad. We had D'Amico Ryans. We had Robert Saleh. And we had Steve Wilkes. Then we had your favorite, what's his name? I can't think of his name. You know who I'm talking about. The guy that's on the Cowboys special teams now.
Drew
Sorensen.
Sorensen.
Yes,
Sorensen.
Nick Sorensen. Nick Nick Sorensen. I mean, that was horrible.
Hey,
So
Nick, hey, it was just a communication breakdown.
yeah,
Sorensen.
communication breakdown. So it's like we've had all these guys, and it's always interesting to see what guys stick out to them. But he didn't know diddly poo really. So it's interesting. So it is going to be fun to see what Raheem's installing during training camp. So we really get to see what this defense is going to be looking like, because maybe he's going to have a whole different strategy or scheme than we've seen in the past. So I'm excited.
Last thought before we bolt. Couple reports out there. Let's finish on this front. Couple reports that LeBron James is still thinking about the Warriors. The Warriors are still a possibility for LeBron James and could look to pair him with Anthony Davis in a blockbuster deal, but the cost would be steep, according to Shams. This is out right now. Interesting. I'm going to play this one cut here. We'll share the screen and play this.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you one LeBron question, because he's supposedly making a movie. And like, what would be the best movie? But first, let's hear this from Shams, and then we'll talk a little bit about
my boy.
And by the way, breaking news here. I don't know if it is breaking news. LeBron James and Draymond Green are spending some time here together this week. And so LeBron is spending time
where exactly? In Akron playing golf or somewhere else?
Undisclosed location. I don't know if I can disclose the location, but that just goes to show, last week he's spending time with friends, with family, including
Okay, so I don't know, Stephen A. Smith in Akron playing golf. I mean, does it matter where he's playing? But the talk that I'm hearing is that LeBron James is putting together a documentary for his final year in the NBA.
Of course.
The Lakers ran him out. I think that's clear at this point. His options are he can go back to Cleveland and finish where it all started. He could go to Miami. He could go join the Knicks. He could come to the Warriors. But what makes the best movie? I mean, I mean, it would be awesome if Steph and him could win a title together. I think that would also be cool for his competition with KD. Of course, KD and Steph won a title together. But I don't think that the Warriors with LeBron James at this point and Steph Curry, I don't think unless Lenderberg is just spectacular. He looked pretty damn good, by the way. But unless Yaxel is just a freaking star, I don't think they have enough, even if they got LeBron, to make it to the conference finals, let alone the NBA finals. So what do you make of this, Raj? I mean, where is LeBron going to go? As a Warrior fan, do you want to see him here? Or I kind of don't. I kind of feel like he's, I don't want a whole nother year of just old guys who can't play back-to-backs. If you bring in LeBron, you've got Butler, Porzingis, Horford, Draymond, Steph, LeBron. You got like 6 or 7 guys that can't play the second end of back-to-backs. So what the heck are you doing? Why would they do this? I get the feeling that this is all about Joe Lacob and trying to put butts in the seats at that incredible expensive arena, but they're not going to win.
It doesn't matter. They didn't win last year. The team is, regardless. Look, LeBron's not going to make them win more games. You said it. They're an UNC squad. With or without LeBron, they're going to be an UNC squad. If you want a movie, if you want a documentary, listen, I'm not a LeBron guy. I can't believe he's dragging it out. He's 41. He did the same thing when he was in high school. Then the decision when he went to Miami, and then the decision again. It's a decision like 10 right now. But hey, if you're talking about making a movie, premium cinema, Steph Curry, LeBron James on the same team, Larry, stop it. If you're not excited, like that would be cinema. That would be a movie. That'd be a documentary. You got LeBron chopped, does a little dust thing. You got Steph biting the mouth guard behind him, shooting the three. It is going to be a great movie. It's not going to make them better, but it's going to help them sell tickets. Because even with them, they're not beating the Thunder. They're not beating the Spurs. They're too old to compete. But it would be fun. Hey, let them come here. But I think it's definitely between Miami. He's played there before. They got Bam. They got Giannis. And then you got Cleveland, right? The hometown team. Although they just paid Spida a lot of money. I don't know if they're gonna be able to afford him, but I'm sure they could figure it out. And then you got the Warriors, because Steph and Draymond, his best friend. We'll see. I know the rumors have been circulating about the Warriors. But if the Warriors don't get LeBron, it's the same Unk squad with just without James. So it would be fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have fun going to Chase Center and watching LeBron and Steph Curry for a game. I would be fun.
It would be fun as long as you made sure you did your homework and you knew who was going to play. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to go out there to see those guys.
Where they load manage. Absolutely.
They're going to load manage themselves right into fans are going to be pissed. What do you think of DeMar DeRozan?
Please, no, stop it. No.
Don't tell me stop it. I'm not rooting for it. I'm just.
I know. I don't want DeMar.
I'm just sharing. Don't kill the messenger here. Do you like Quentin Post enough to match?
I know.
Here's the thing. I know a lot of people got mad when I said they should match, but he's a young center. You're paying Porzingis $20 million a year. He's only played 19% of the games over the last 3 seasons. This kid had a down year this year, but he had a good year 2 years ago. And $10 million, I think he's totally tradable at that number. I'd rather see them match and trade him down the road. No?
Yeah, but you're not going to get much out of him. He's a third center. He didn't really develop. The Warriors don't develop their young players. He was a cool story. He was a fun player to have, but he's getting paid a decent amount if the Warriors don't match. So good for him. I'm not going to sit here and lose sleep. You were hot. You were a little mad yesterday. Quentin Post is not, going elsewhere.
Well, yeah. I don't think the Warriors get it. It's like you claimed you were light years ahead. Okay. And then you just stopped building. And now teams like the Lakers, they have old players, but guess what? They found a way to turn over their roster. The Warriors have old players, and they didn't. The Warriors are running it back with a team that didn't make the playoffs.
The problem is you got Steph. You got to ride out Steph, and he's 38. I love him, but really they can't do anything until Steph's gone and Draymond. So it's sad. It's going to be the end of Steph's era soon here. Maybe he's got 2 more years, but they never really grabbed him, solid players over the last couple years. They won a championship in 2022, and then the team kind of just got old and they didn't get better. They didn't draft well. They brought Jimmy Butler in. Let's keep it a buck. They did bring him in, but then he got hurt. That injury derailed their whole season.
Oh, shocking. Shocking that the guy who's ancient got hurt.
Well, you get it, but if he didn't get hurt last year, they were still a top 17.
And he's old as hell. He's old as dirt.
That's the rock. That's their.
Here's the thing: are the Warriors going to be able to avoid the moment that they fear the most? I've been saying it for the last 2 years. They should trade Steph Curry. Now, Steph Curry was asked about his situation, and he's like, "I don't want to lose to throughout the end of my career." And yet that's what it's all set up for right at this point. So will Steph be happy losing in the twilight years of his Warriors run, or will he do what I think he's going to do and say, you know what, all things being equal, especially if they don't win this year, like all things being equal by the trade deadline, trade me.
If you look at it, Larry,
they probably just should.
They probably should have got a king's ransom for him, but they would have just broke the Warrior fan base. But he's got probably 2 more years at this point. Ride it out, rebuild, but you can't rebuild right without getting talent and first-round picks. But it's the problem. The Warriors, like we just mentioned, Jimmy Butler was their big acquisition. They don't like young players. They don't develop them. We had the whole Kuminga situation. It's like, would they develop them? Then they didn't, and then it was weird. And it's just the Warriors like older players. They bring in older players. They brought in Al Horford. They brought him back. Kristaps, like you said, Jimmy Butler. Like their infatuation is getting these older players. They have young players that they don't develop well, and then poor draft decisions here and there. So it's been a combination of things. I don't know, man. I just hope Steph rides out gracefully. But if they trade him, I won't hate him because it makes sense to do it to, get some draft picks. But at this point, at 38, how much you getting? If you would have did it like 4 or 5 years ago, Larry, holy moly, you would have got a lot. But
I just think you got to do what he wants to do. If he wants to finish somewhere else, I think you got to send him somewhere else. And it sounds like that day's coming, and I think they fear it. And I think it's coming. Okay,
sad.
It is sad because nobody wants to see. Everybody wants to see
Trade
you
the
know,
franchise away.
Yeah, nobody want, and he's such a great player. Nobody wants to see him leave, and so on and so forth. But it just doesn't look like he's going to be here long term. Okay, let's hit a couple of these three supers, and then we'll bolt for the door. We got this one from FCUK _ Brandon _ Aiyuk. Great show, homies. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Bradley Lodge 831. I must confess that I was very adamant that Kyle not draft Mac Jones back when they took Trey boy. Was I absolutely wrong. Now I don't want him to leave. I mean, we're all in total lockstep on that. I mean, it's like that's exactly, we all wanted Trey Lance, and now we all look back and go, what were we thinking?
Yeah.
49 _ throwback. Yaxel Lendeberg looking pretty good out there. Lejai Jones still needs time to develop. Looks like Will Richards is going to have a big year. Love the Warriors. Well, you know what? You always got to be a little skeptical because it is summer league. Marco Bellinelli went for 44. Yeah. Anthony Randolph looked like an all-NBA performer, but Lendeberg does look good. When I said go get Lendeberg a month before the draft, and I really liked him, people were like, "Oh, stick to football. You don't know what you're talking about. He's too old." But you know what? What I saw was that he'd only played 5 years. The guy didn't start playing basketball till he was 19.
It's good player.
Now he's 24,
yeah,
and he's an NBA top 12 draft choice. I think he's 24, but he's not your typical 24-year-old.
He's a good player. He's good. And you know what? He's older, so the Warriors will actually play him. If you're young, you ain't getting played on the Warriors anyway. So might be better that they got an older guy.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
I think he's a good fit, and I'm really happy with what I saw from him earlier.
But you're right. It is summer league. You take
it's summer league.
Green
Tommy T used to say, "Hey, Krug, it's summer league."
Yeah. It's fun.
Last but certainly not least, thank you to Novato Chevrolet. You see the scroll on the bottom of the screen. The show brought to you as well by Novato Chevrolet. Go see Adam Rogers or Miguel Lopez and tell them that Krug sent you. Get yourself a Chevrolet. When I buy a Chevrolet, I only buy it from Novato Chevrolet. Wow. Raj, that's going to do it for us. Great to see you. We'll do it again next week. Camp is coming. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon'